Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's doing great today. Well, welcome to my outdoor office. Hope everyone's doing great. Today it's cooled off a little bit. Where I'm at here in Alabama, we've had several days where the temperatures have been in the 70s and 80s. Today, right now, as I record this video, the temperature is only 60 degrees according to my phone. So I had to wear a jacket today. But I'm not complaining because it's still a lot warmer than what it is up in Indiana. I didn't check the temperatures in Indiana. If I had to take a wild guess, I think up there their temperatures are fluctuating between the upper 20s to the lower 30s, somewhere around those lines, which is normal for this time of the year up in Indiana. So I'm so blessed to be here where I don't got to deal with snow for the most part, and the temperatures are a lot warmer. Well, uh, I don't know any nice way to put this, but I am too normal. I consider myself to be too normal. And as Dave Ramsey would tell you, normal sucks. And normal, in my opinion, really does suck. Now, I know there's a lot of people that strive to be normal, and they're glad they are normal. Me, normal sucks. And I am too normal. Now, what do I mean by I am too normal? This is what I mean. You see, most people that are normal are broke and miserable. Most people that are normal, some of the reasons why they're broke and or they're miserable is because they're working jobs that they may not like, that in many cases in this day and age don't pay that well. A lot of people that are normal are concerned about what other people think as opposed to simply living life more so on their terms. Many people that are normal tend to move to locations to where the jobs pay the best, which that makes sense. But sometimes when people move to certain locations because of a job or jobs, it may not necessarily be where they want to live. It's where they choose to live because of the job. Like if they were able to take a magic wand and decide where they wanted to live, a lot of these people would probably live somewhere in Florida, or maybe they would live somewhere in the Southwest, like Arizona, you know, New Mexico, maybe even parts of California. But instead, they gotta live somewhere in the South. But instead they gotta live somewhere in the Midwest because, that's where the jobs are at. That's where affordability is at as well. And that's just a generic example of some of the obstacles that normal people have to go through. Now, granted, in my life, there are some things that I do that many people that are quote unquote normal don't do. So, because honestly, like for me, I would say ever since 2009, when I first filed my bankruptcy, I slowly began to veer away from the quote unquote normal way of living. Like now, I don't drive new cars. I refuse to drive a new car unless I'm renting one out. I drive older cars. The only way that I, the only kind of vehicle these days that I purchase is a vehicle that I can afford to pay cash. I don't do car notes. I refuse to. I don't lease cars. Or as they Rams will call it, fleece cars. I don't do any of that crap. I refuse to. And when it comes to my clothing, back in the day, before, back when I was super reckless with my money, I used to buy new clothes on a fairly regular basis. I mean, I would say every month I would buy new clothes. And then when money got tight, I went from buying new clothes every month to buying new clothes every 6 months. And any shirt or pair of pants I've had for longer than, I'll just say, a couple of years, regardless of how good the shirt or the pants looked, regardless of how well they made it fitted, I gave them away because to me they were old, they were out of style, and I just wanted my closet to be full of clothes that were in style, so to speak. And that's how I used to live. But now I don't care. I mean, like I told you guys before, I buy a lot of my clothes at Goodwill. And now, if you were to come to my house and you were to look in my closet, I got pants that I've had for over 10 years. I got shirts I've had for over 10 years. Some of them to this day I still wear. And obviously when it comes to my housing situation, I've I've been blessed with some of the opportunities out here when it comes to employment. The thing that changed my life big time on a financial standpoint was when I was able to get a job working the oil field for a little bit up in North Dakota. So due to having those type of opportunities, along with a few jobs up in Indiana that paid pretty well, that were all factory jobs, despite how much I hated those jobs, despite how hard those jobs were on my body, when I look back at those days, I was blessed to have those jobs because those jobs changed my life significantly in a good way. Due to those kind of jobs, I was able to pay off my house. I was able to get myself completely out of debt. And I was able to continue to only pay cash for whatever vehicles I chose to purchase. So there's a few things in my life that I'm doing and I've been doing for some time that many quote unquote normal people don't do, especially my age. I mean, I'm in my mid 40s, and I do understand that there's a lot of men my age that do not have a paid off house. They don't even have a paid off car. Many of them, unfortunately, are paying child support on top of that. I don't have to pay child support. I don't have no kids. I'm single. So there's a few things I'm doing in my life that many normal people don't do. But the reason why I say I'm too normal is because, well, yes, it's about that 9 to 5 job. I'm still working a 9 to 5. And like I told you on the video that I made yesterday, I was grappling about why it was that I no longer wanted to work a 9 to 5. And the fact that I'm still working a 9 to 5, the fact that I'm still a part of that rat race, so to speak, makes me too much of a normal person. And I strive to not be normal. I strive to be what people would consider weird. Of course, weird in a good way, not in a creepy way. But I strive to be weird. I strive to not work a 9 to 5. Now, when I talk about having my own business and doing my own thing, let me get something clear. Like for me, it's not about going out here and having a humongous business and hiring a bunch of people. It's not about me going out here and making millions of dollars. It's not about me calling myself a millionaire or a multi-millionaire. It's about me just having more control over my time. one of the most valuable resources we all have is time. It's a resource that many of us tend to not value enough. We tend to take it for granted. Time is a resource that many of us are quick to trade because unfortunately that's how this society is set up. It's set up to where many of us we have to trade our time in for money. And I am diligently every day thinking of ways to where I don't have to do that, at least not as much. Now, I've already got myself to the point in my life to where, for the most part, I can work a regular 9 to 5 job and I can at least pay the bills working a 40-hour week. Because several years ago, in order for me to pay all my bills, I had to work 50 and 60 hours a week. So I pat myself on the back for that. However, I am far from being what I would consider, uh, well, I'm still too normal. Like I said, I'm still way too normal. And for those of you guys that have been watching my channel, you know how I love to travel. And I would love to get back on the road and travel extensively again, like I was a year and a half or so ago. Well, like I was even over the summer when I took that trip to the UP up in Michigan. I would love to get back to doing those type of trips and making those type of videos for you guys. I would love to do that. I miss it. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about that. But, you know, it takes planning, it takes money, and I don't want to just get out here and start living and start being reckless with my money. So that's the only reason why I'm still sitting here working my regular 9 to 5. And I would say for me, that's going to be my biggest goal for 2025 is to get myself further away from being normal. Because like I said, I am way too normal. Now, do I consider myself miserable? Not completely. But I do know that I would be a much happier person not having to rely on a 9 to 5 in order for me to earn a stable income to pay my bills. Like, well, yeah, when I was, and when I talk about doing my own thing, like I said before, it's not about building massive amounts of wealth. Now, if that happens, great. But that's not what it's about. For me, it's about being able to pay my bills and having a little bit of money left over for some fun, along with a little bit of money left over to where I can fund my retirement. That's what it's about. It's not about me being rich. Like I said, it's about me reclaiming as much of my time as I can. It's about me getting up every day. And I decide what I do with my time, not some employer. And I'm hoping for those of you that are listening to me, what I'm saying makes sense. I'm pretty sure it does. Because there's a lot of people out here that feel the same way I feel. I'm just willing to grab a camera and voice it. I mean, the older I get, the more and more that I begin to question how things in this society have been set up for us. I just can't help but to question it. I mean, I just can't help myself. Now, even when I was younger, I questioned it a little bit, but not near as much as I question it now. Now, maybe now because I am a lot older, I've seen a lot more, I've experienced a lot more, and I don't know. I just question things a lot more now than I did ever before. I just think it's a crappy deal to work 40, 50 years of your life. And then if you're lucky, you might get to enjoy 20 years of your life or so before either A, you pass away, or B, if you're lucky, well, I don't know if it's luck, or B, your health gets so poor that you can no longer function. Your family places you ultimately in some type of a nursing home. So I just think the way many normal people live their life, I just think it's a crappy deal. And that's just my opinion. It's a crappy deal. I mean, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know. If you go out here and you purchase a home, especially in this crazy housing market, it takes you 30 years to pay off your house. And that's 30 years assuming that nothing bad happens to your health, to where you can't work for an extended period of time. That's assuming that during that 30-year time frame, you're going to always be able to secure some type of employment, whether it be doing your own thing or working a 9 to 5. So out of, assuming that nothing uh, out of the ordinary goes on in your life, at the end of 30 years, your house is paid off. Think about that, 30 years. So if you choose to purchase your home at, let's say, 35 years of age, because right now the average age for a first-time home buyer, I believe, is 36. So if you choose to purchase your house at 35, 35 plus 30, by the time you pay off your house, you're 65 years old. Now, having your house paid off at 65 is better than not having a paid off house at all. At least in my opinion, it is. But think about that for a minute. 30 years. I don't know. I just think the way society is ran is ridiculous. And for 2025, I'm going to continue to fight I guess, I'm going to continue to fight my personal battle against society. I'm going to fight my personal battle against society. Because I am so sick and tired of being normal. Normal sucks. And I don't know how else to put it. I mean, I do pat myself on the back for all the things that I've accomplished that many normal people have not accomplished and may never accomplish, unfortunately. However, I'm not done. I'm not satisfied. I'm yearning to accomplish more in my life. I'm yearning to be more abnormal. I'm yearning to be more weird. And again, when I say weird, I'm talking weird in a good way, not in a creepy way. And I don't know what else to add to this video. Well, yeah, here's what I'll add. Like, in my journey to become weird and not normal, like, I would love to spend my days to where I go out here and I help out other people, rather it be making videos like this or it be going out here in the communities where I travel, maybe giving people a hot plate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might buy a homeless person or a group of homeless people something hot to eat, which I've done before on this channel. And I would like to do more of that. It makes me feel good when I do that type of stuff. It gives me a natural high when I do that type of stuff. And maybe in certain places to where people have homeless encampments, maybe I can go and buy some of those people a tent and maybe even a little propane heater so they don't freeze themselves half to death, especially up in colder climates. Those are the things that I would like to do in my future, in the near future. But in order for me to do those things more, I gotta put myself in a position to where I am not living the quote unquote normal life. So that's all I gotta say for this one. So until next time, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.